Hello, everyone. This is Steve Anderson with the USBA, and I am pleased to say our guest today is Marco Zanetti. Marco is currently ranked 5th on the UMB World Ranking and has had a fantastic year in 2013. Welcome, Marco.
Yeah, hello. How are you?
Good, good. So what a fantastic year for you in 2013. What do you attribute all that success to?
That's not so easy to say, but the first half of the year was really fantastic for me with 4 big wins straight. Maybe it's simply the result of keeping on practicing very focused and always very carefully. I have no other explanation for that except maybe that I discovered a couple of new things for the position play and for improving a little bit the quality of my stroke. That's it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of us were rooting for you during those wins because I'm 60 years old and I have gray hair. So anybody else that has gray hair that plays caroms, we're on your side.
Yeah, we have. I also have gray hair, so among the top players, together with Torbjörn Blomdahl, we are the oldest now, and it's also interesting to see the confrontation between not only players of several nationalities, but
Yes.
also of different generations, and of course now Torbjörn and me, we are representing the old generation.
Yes.
That try to keep a good position, but the young players behind, they are doing a lot to come very high in the ranking, and this confrontation makes our sport even more interesting, I think.
I agree. You're absolutely right. Having that mix of age groups, I think it's really important for the sport. Well, speaking of, hey, we got the next World Cup is in, and I'll probably mispronounce it, Uganda.
Yeah.
Uganda.
That's correct. Yeah.
Egypt. You will be competing in this World Cup, I trust.
Yeah, sure. I go in 2 days. I go to Uganda, and in 4 days the World Cup, the final tournament of the World Cup will start. Yes.
Fantastic.
Definitely.
What kind of do you make? Are there any specific preparations that you make right before a World Cup that you wouldn't normally make if it was either a minor tournament or something like that?
The most important thing is to stay focused, to practice a lot. I don't practice at the moment so much single positions. I play more my how can I say, my techniques, so that the balls are doing what I really like, and there is always it's always not so easy to find a way that balls are moving the way you think, and
Yes.
This is of course for me now the basic point, and when I practice I'm really focused on that.
Great. What got you started playing caroms? What age were you, and what prompted you to become the success that you are? I mean, what started that whole thing?
I started playing carom when I was a child. My father was the president of the local billiard club here, and I was very young. My mom was on an afternoon very busy, so my father had to care for me, and he brought me to the billiard club. I was maybe 6 years old, and from that moment I was so fascinated by the balls that I started playing, and of course with free game and with the chair, because I was not tall enough to come to the table, over the table, and that was my beginning with 6 years, and I started play competition on regional level at 11, and with 15 I became for the first time a national champion. So in fact I started very, very young, and then I dedicated more than 10 years between, let's say, 15 and 24 to the technical games, to free game, ball climb, and I was also successful. I won 3 European titles and more medals, and I loved the game, ball climb and one cushion and free game. And then 1986 I started seriously playing three cushion. That was my start with the European Championship in Luxembourg, where I became fourth, and I qualified for the World Championship three cushion in Las Vegas at the Tropicana Hotel. That was the famous World Championship where Avelino Rico from Spain won this historic semi-final against Raymond Keulemans, and when the score was 48-35 for Keulemans, and suddenly Rico played a 15 and out and qualified for the final. He won from Torbjörn Blomdahl, also with a very special score, because Blomdahl was also leading very far. And with that World Championship in Las Vegas in 1986, where I became fourth, a few months later, Dr. Werner Bayer, who was the founder of the BWA, the Billiard World Cup Association, invited me to take part to a professional group he was creating, and of course from that moment I started playing three cushion professionally.
Well, we're happy that you did, because many of us enjoy watching you play. You're one of the more, what I would say, animated players. You know, your emotions show. Many of the players, or some of the players, are not that way, but you pretty much let us know how you're feeling, and I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's a little bit my style, which is a little different, as most of my colleagues coming from the North Europe. It's I cannot hide my emotions. It's my style is to stay free, and when I feel strong emotion, I have also to show it, to feel again more free from that, from these emotions. And I don't know, some spectators they love it, other spectators they prefer another behavior on the table. But of course I always try to respect my opponent and to show the beautiful sides of our sports.
Of course, yes, you do that very well. Well, you know, I was really disappointed to hear about Ajipi. You know, that was such a wonderful, I don't know if you pronounce it Ajipi, yes, or Ajipi.
Ajipi is correct. It's perfect, yes.
Boy, any chance that might come back, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, unfortunately, that was for me and for everybody in the billiard scene was the big surprise of the year that Mr. Claude Fatt, the former president of the company, was not re-elected during the elections of the new board in the mutual company, and that has of course more consequences for the billiard world because Mr. Fatt was a big supporter of our beloved sport.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the new president doesn't know three cushion billiard, and is also not so interested to know more about it. So unfortunately, the future investments of the company in advertising will not be dedicated on billiard anymore. So
yeah,
finally, we are coming to the end of this experience, which was really fantastic, especially for me and for the other players of the team.
Yes.
I started playing for Mr. Fatt in the year 2002, so it's now 11 years.
Sure.
And I was also so lucky to win the last edition of the RGB tournament. So.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you. That is unfortunate. Well, let me ask you, what do you think, if you had to say what your greatest strength as a three-cushion billiard player is, what do you think that is? And then also, what do you think your weakest point is, if there is one?
Yes, of course. I know myself as a three-cushion player pretty good. So I think that my strongest points are at the same time also the weakest, and I try to explain you a little more about it. I have maybe a different style also in my techniques. When I play, I can play in more different ways. I can use more different strokes and positions of the body, of the arms, left and right, of course, and when I can feel the small differences that makes the focus perfect, then I can manage the small differences, and I can adapt, and I can also change during a game small details. And when my feeling, when my mood, when my shape is on the top, I can manage everything very well.
Yes.
But and this makes me so strong because I can control the speed of the shots. I can play position. I can feel exactly how much side I need to make the point, and so on. The curves. And on the other side, when I don't feel on the top of the shape, I'm still searching for the ideal assessment, let's say, of everything inside me. And while looking so long for it, I lose a little bit precision. I lose a little bit focus because I'm more trying to find out what is exactly right for me at the moment. So I always say my strongest points are at the same time my weakest points.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's kind of like life, isn't it? Yeah, I understand completely. One of the posters on AZ Billiards, which is
Yeah.
posted and wanted to ask you a question, and his post name is Sightline, and he's a .8 average player, and he wanted to ask you if there was one thing that could catapult him, speed him up to the next level. Is there one thing that comes to mind, maybe beyond just practice?
Yeah, this is not so easy to say on the phone without knowing the player, without seeing the way he plays. But I think that the players from that level, they have now the opportunity to, through Zoom, to look more carefully and more often also to the games of the top players, so they can try to learn out more from that, especially asking themselves why the top players are not only, for instance, making a certain point on a certain way, but why the player played with this speed, and what happened after the point. Does he has now a good position or not? And this is the future of three cushion billiard is very strong connected also to the position play, which doesn't mean, of course, that you have to play position on every single shot, because when the position is too difficult, there is no one of the top players who thinks about the next shot. He just try to make the difficult point.
Right.
But when we come again to more normal standard positions, then it's a kind of obligation, like in free game, not only to make the point, but try to prepare the next one. And in three cushion, you cannot be never sure to have after the point a good position, but thinking a little more statistics and mathematics, then you have better chances to have a good position when you will play the stroke on a certain way with a certain speed and so on.
Yeah, that makes sense. If players can watch players like yourself, the world champions, they can pick up those nuances, those reasons, or they can see why you're shooting a shot that way. So that is very good advice. Thank you so much. That's great.
Yeah, Steve. Of course, the best advice is always to take lessons from the top players, because in this case, every player has his own way stroke, his own way techniques, and he preferred to play certain shots, and he doesn't like other shots. So the best way is always to have lessons and to speak directly with the teacher, with a good teacher, about his weakness, and try to improve them.
Perfect. Great. Let's turn to, I sent you a diagram on Facebook, gave you a situation, and you are white, and you're stuck in the middle of the table with yellow and red diagonally. You're in between them. So what would your solution be to that particular shot, and why?
But I saw the three different options posted at the IZ forum, and I would prefer to play the left side of the yellow, a follow-through shot, almost no spin, or just a little less spin to touch the short cushion, passing close to the red, going to the corner, long, short, and make the points like that.
Yes, yeah, I think most of us agree with that. Plus, it's a relatively safe shot because you're leaving yellow down at the end.
Yes, and when you play with the right speed, the yellow is also going to a very nice position, not so far away from the long rail, so that in the case that you make the point, you will also have a good chance to continue the run, and in the opposite case, the opponent will not have surely an easy shot. So it's surely the best position. Supposing for a moment that the colors of the balls will be the opposite, so white in place of yellow, then maybe the shot would be even more interesting, because on this case there will be more another option to play the shot.
Right,
But,
gotcha.
Okay.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
Makes good sense. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out. I know you're preparing for the World Cup in Egypt, so we want to thank you so much.
I was exactly practicing a little bit before you called me, Steve.
Okay.
I interrupt my practicing with pleasure to say to thank you for your interest about me, and to wish to all three cushion lovers in the United States all the best, and Merry Christmas for everybody, and I hope that you will still enjoy for more and more time this wonderful game, and good luck to all of you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and have a safe trip to Egypt, and we wish you the best of luck.
Okay.
All
Steve,
right.
thank